All right. So here's the plan so far. I have 74 inches of overall width with a 57-inch hub-to-hub face. I got a bunch of other measurements. Those really ain't going to pertain much to you guys yet until we start doing the axle placement. So whenever I get figured out exactly what am I doing on my length for my air ride that I'm going to be having on here, I'm still going to put a toolbox on the front of this trailer to hold my switches, my battery. I am going to be putting a 7-round setup on this, even though it's just a little trailer, but I want the auxiliary charging station for my battery. So what we're doing now is trying to figure out, I know I'm cutting the new piece of pipe, this one. That piece of pipe is going to be cut at 50 inches even. Now, I say 50 inches even, and that is because that is where the original spring perches are welded at on the trailer. Or not hangers, yeah, spring hangers. So, I am going to widen it that far, and I'm going to cut the axle dead center, and I'm going to slide it all the way through. Now, I do have to drill some holes. I am going to tap them holes to push my axle to one side. Now, I'm doing that for a bunch of different reasons. I want to keep everything center. I want to keep everything where it needs to be at. This thing's not going to see a ton of weight, so having to re-arcing the axle is not going to matter on this trailer. This trailer, honestly, once it's done, will only be used to drag around. I don't know. I think that lawnmower weighs like 800 pounds. My Gator weighs 900 pounds. That girl weighs like 860. So that is where we are. I do plan on putting lights on this thing like it's going to be decked out. These 2x6s that are all the way around this thing, and was set to have one back here too. You see that? All that is going to be going away. Math. I do plan on putting angle iron rails around the side of this thing, place to stop. I do plan on knocking off the exhaust clamps somebody has put down the sides of this thing for tie down points. Those of you that are putting them on your trailers, if you're just hauling bicycles, I guess that is fine, but you're still gonna bend them and break them and lose stuff. Stop. Just stop. These things right here can be bought at most hardware stores. They are D-rings. They can be bolted in or welded in. They are a whopping, I think I paid like $3.25 a piece. You spent more on the exhaust clamps than I did on those. So the winch is going to go bye-bye. I am putting a box in there, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do my air tank yet. The air tank is for a semi, so I might actually cut it in half and re-plug the ends and hang them off of each side. I think that might look kind of cool. Plus, if I do that, my compressor and my battery are already going to take up enough room inside the box. I do plan on putting a wall in there to separate them from my straps. So I got to build a wall inside the box still. But I do plan on having the switch and the battery and the compressor for the suspension on one side. It is going to be on a level valve, just like what you guys in the semis, just like what I deal with on a regular basis. See, there's a Volvo right out there. That's how it's going to find its ride height. That's how I'm going to air it out too. I got a lot of figuring whenever I go to do that. Right now, I'm just trying to get the axle width, so the trailer isn't taking up my shop and I can still use the trailer. I do have a nicer trailer, kind of. It has a wood floor. This has a steel floor. I want the steel floor. But I do have a bigger, nicer little trailer like this. I don't know. I think a buddy of mine, he's got a welding shop. Those of you guys in the Nevada area, hit up Tate Dilly. He does awesome welding work. I think I'm going to have him put my steel floor on my other trailer because I'm not going to do anything extravagant to it, but a steel floor and a box in the front. And after I flip the axles on my travel trailer gooseneck build, I'm going to take it to him and I'm going to have him cut off the stuff I don't need. And we are going to do rub rails on the side with stake pocket holes, a battery, a winch, and a steel floor on it, and a bunch of, I'm going to do all the rest of the stuff. He's just doing my rub rails, my steel floor, just little stuff like that. But the stake pockets on it are going to be kind of cool because I'm trying to find a slide-in bed camper for a pickup, a specific one, so I can put it on there. So when we do want to go to these bigger rallies that are a lot further away, we can throw the bike, a couple of bikes even, on that trailer, and we have a nice place to camp at and whatnot. Plus, I'm not tying up my entire flatbed, so it'll be on, off, on, off, on, off. But I'm building a steel floor or a steel frame for the bottom of it to keep it off the ground and something for the jacks to grab a hold of. And I'm going to have it set up to where I can take my Milwaukee stuff and I can just clamp it to the stake pockets. So it's going to be pretty nice. I've got it all drawn up somewhere else. But back to the trailer at hand though. These are all going bye-bye. See, that's why you don't put them on there. They just break. I didn't even use that one. Why? Because I spent the money. I do have a welder, but even if I didn't, I can buy a cheap drill and drill bit and there it is. Yeah, don't use them.